Alrighty, this is part 2 of our trip over Imogene Pass on the 5th of September in 2012. This overview map shows Ouray to Camp Bird and up over the pass to Telluride. Now the trip from Ouray to Camp Bird is pretty tame. You can take any vehicle on that. And in the last video we went up to Upper Camp Bird, and this particular video concentrates on the stretch from Upper Camp Bird to the false summit. Now, why do I say false summit? Well, if you're at Upper Camp Bird, you look where it says False Summit, and you see how steep that is going up there. From Upper Camp Bird, it looks like the False Summit is the real summit. But when we get up there, we'll find that that's not the case. Here's a closer look at what's going on. We're going to start at Upper Camp Bird and climb up that hill. At first, the road seems a little bit tame, but toward the end, it gets quite steep. Enough of that. Let's get going. We're starting at Upper Camp Bird. We just crossed the river there, and you'll see that we still have a few trees here. The road is not too bad. I mean, there's lots of rocks. It's bumpy, but not too bad at this point. I thought I'd just let the thing unfold in real time here so you can see it the way I did. September 5th was a Thursday, and after work I thought I'd hop on the bike and go up and check out Upper Camp Bird for the Imogene Pass run that was going to be 2 days following. Well, as long as I was there, why not point the bike south and go on up over the hill? You can see that we're at tree line. That's about 11,500 feet around here. This is the highest that the trees grow. There, I'm just clearing the dust off of the lens. Well, now we start some of the switchbacks. You can probably tell from the video, even though this is a very wide-angle lens, that is just doggone steep there. But not as steep as it will be once we get beyond the false summit. So far, this is quite approachable. We'll go through the last of the trees here and around another corner. At this point, we say goodbye to the trees. Now, notice straight ahead, it looks like there's a top up there, over on the right-hand side, just to the left of that bump. It seems like that must be the top. Well, in fact, that's the false summit. Now, you see what we're going to do. We're going to come over to the side here and go up the side of this hill. I have to really admire the people who built these roads. These were put in to service mines, some of them as much as 100 years ago. These were hardy people, or as my father would say, those were the days of wooden ships and iron men. We're getting just a hint of the roughness that's to come. Here you see that the road is rough, a bunch of stones. It's not difficult, but certainly a bumpy ride. I'm doing this entire ride in first gear, and that's because of the steepness. If you go from Upper Camp Bird to the actual summit, the average grade is 15%. which means at many points it's much steeper than that. In fact, I would estimate that it might even go up as high as a 30% grade. Now we're starting to pick up a little bit of roughness in the road as we go across the rockfall here. You caught just a glimpse of how far we've come in just a few minutes. We're not actually going very far. I'm probably doing about 8 miles an hour. Here's where this road starts to get just a titch interesting, as we're now rumbling over the bedrock here. Now, we're going to get up here a little ways, and there's going to be some ATVs, and I just want to mention something about ATVs on this route. Unlicensed vehicles such as ATVs, unlicensed motorcycles, and so on can only go part way down to Telluride, and there is no place up there that a trailer can come to meet you. So if you're going to do that on an ATV, you have to start on the Ouray side, go over, turn around, and come back. There's no way around that. Now, my motorcycle is licensed, and so I can go all the way over into Telluride, which we will do over the next parts of this video. I point out here that although I'm going uphill and have the right of way, it makes a lot more sense for me to wait for these guys to come down. And that's the caveat they always put on that. They say the guy going uphill has the right of way, but please, please use common sense. And yes, everything is just as steep as it looks. A few years ago, there was an accident where a Jeep tried to pull over and let somebody by, and the Jeep went too close to the edge, and unfortunately, there were fatalities in the resulting rollover. So do be careful, keep your wits about you, and know where your wheels are at all times. If you don't know where they are, get out and take a look. You're probably noticing that I'm tending to keep to the left here. In this case, it's close to the mountain, but there's a view of where we've just come up, that flat down there where the road, you see the road down there, that is Upper Camp Bird, and that's where we started this. This road is the path for the annual Imogene Pass run. This year it went from Ouray to Telluride. In alternate years it goes the other way. This year, over 1,500 people made this event. For the first 500 or so, it's a run. For the rest, it's really the Imogene Pass walk. Plenty of room to go by this guy. And we're getting real close to the false summit here. Once I get up there, I did a little real-time narration, so I'll let you hear that. And then I'll meet you again for part 3 of this video, where we go from the false summit to the real summit.
This is the false summit. From down there, it looks like this is the summit. From down here, you can see the real summit up there with the pole sticking up.